if you're not familiar with card games, the simple breakdown is you each get a set of cards with different stats, and then you try to knock each other's thief out. Except, you get charged extra for 2 fillings. With me so far? Now, the game is currently in a closed beta stage. And just like the bills I stack up in my drawer, I get a general reminder that I should probably read my email. The 20,000 something stacked up on red ones weren't really the indicator, but I had gotten the beta invite for Gwent and never noticed the fucking thing. And that's a big no-no. Gwent made me install The Witcher again to play the original Gwent. And that lasted for about 5 minutes. Till the AI kicked my ass. So then I remembered, this is hard, and the payoff kinda sucks.
You wanna pick a fight? I'm not gonna pick a fight. I'm gonna pick you. Pikachu, move your ass. Good lad. Now roll over and play dead. What are you, a boy or a girl? I could never tell.
Now, let's go into why this game is so cool, and what CD Projekt Red did that's unique compared to other card games out there. First off, you're only allowed 4 legendary cards. My problem with its counterpart games was that you'd literally have to pay hundreds of dollars to get the deck build that you want, or grind the shit out of arenas and dailies for a few good months. Then, there were people holding out till the last round to have 1 or 2 cards clear out the entire board and just slap a cock over your face.
And I didn't particularly like that.
Random number generation played a big part of the game, combined with pay to win.
I didn't need lessons in how life's not fair and full of broken dreams.
Gwent is closer to chess in terms of sacrificial strategies. You want to win each round, but how badly you commit will affect what you're left with for your next round.
Fall asleep and your cards get sent to the graveyard.
So now, you have a strategy with a limited amount of resources and less overpowered elements.
Which, I don't know, kind of makes the game a little more enjoyable.
The awesome feat is that at the end of each game, you're given the option to GG your opponent and reward them with ore, which you use to get cards or craft cards, and most of them will GG no matter what you do, which made me think, those are really nice people. There's no chat and no emotes,
Which is great!
Hearthstone's dummy emotes pissed me off more than 8 years of Dota ever did. So where does this game fall short? Well, for one, give me the option in-game to turn down the volume, not during the battle itself. Number 2, let me modify the decks before I go into battle, or at least ask me, hey, are you sure you want to use this one? Accidental clicks while looking through my decks got me into games I didn't really want to be in. Number 3, if it ever goes mobile, and they'll want to compete with other card games, they may not have the demographics of the female population over 40, which is, I don't know, about 30% of their population. Most of them will look for very colorful tones, but to stay true to its nature, Gwent has to maintain the Witcher feeling. One last thing, I don't know how to articulate this, but
Fix the fucking MMR.
I couldn't help but notice that about 5 to 10% of the people I was playing against dropped before the game started. Now, I know bad internet, and this looked a lot like ladders trying to drop their MMR. So then, I ran a test to see if I dropped. Would I still get GG'd by other players? So I started with Alt F4 to see if that would do it, and it didn't. Then, I tried to kill the client, and that didn't cut it either. And then it hit me, what if I just disconnect? So I refreshed my IP, and then set a new one, but I figured I'm just overthinking it. So I just pulled the plug and put the cable back in, and bam! Instant drop, next, and a free GG. 20 minutes into it, and I had enough mats to buy a keg. Meanwhile, my friend was playing legitimately, based off his own MMR, and he managed to score 78 ore in 1 hour and 10 mats. I had that in less than 20 minutes. After 1 hour and plenty of mats later, I decided to see how this would affect my MMR, and what kind of players I'd be matched against. And when you know it, most of them would leave during the card selection, or as soon as they noticed that the tie wasn't really in their favor. So, free mats from level milestones. Then, when they finally settled down, I started to leave. Because why not? Nothing happened if I left. After an entire weekend of playing, I had reached level 6. And during 1 hour of experimenting and only playing the games that I wanted, I was level 8. So I thought to myself, why aren't people bothered by this? Oh, closed beta. But maybe it's more than that. And then I thought about game theory. For those of you who don't know, game theory is that thing that came up in A Beautiful Mind that John Nash discovered, which basically describes the Nash equilibrium as being a scenario where you make the best choice you can for yourself while considering other people's actions. And I did. They drop, I drop. I win, they win. Free shit. So why is this unfair? Well, it punishes the people who legitimately want to play the game, and it's economically unfair for those who grind the game out, or they pay to buy the cards. Other than that, it's an absolutely beautiful game.